and welcome to IndiaWatch TV. We have Nipun with us, the master of Metasploit and hacker par excellence and from India. We have talked to him earlier and we're going to talk to him again. I think it was maybe a year back. And Nipun, we're going to talk to you about what have you done and what's the future in Metasploit, exploit, and everything. Yeah.
No.
So, Nipun, hi.
Hello, sir.
We gotta talk to you about a lot of things, man. So, how you been today? And is Delhi very cold?
Yeah, it's early morning.
Early morning in Delhi. Right. So, tell us about what have you done in the last 1 year since your book came out. Are you coming up with a new version of the book?
Yes, I'm planning the second version of the book very soon because most of the information from the past book has changed. So I'll be thinking for a new version very soon.
So somebody who has been, let's say doing Metasploit or learning Metasploit, it's not something which you learn in 1 day or 1 month. It takes about 6 months, 1 year at least of a lot of practice. So what should they be looking at, with the new version or with the new version of Metasploit as well as the new version of your book also?
Actually, sir, most of the Windows XP systems have gone away, and most of the people have shifted to the latest version of the Windows, let's say Windows 7 or the latest one, Windows 10, Windows 8.1. So, as the progress have been done in the change of the operating system, so the book will change, the content of the book will change accordingly. It will cover newer version of exploits which will work on Windows 10, Windows 8.1 and so on and so forth. And with respect to Metasploit, a lot of things has changed, but most of these courses and books which are out there, what they actually do is, it is not just about exploitation, it is about creating exploits as well. So what I feel is the most important thing to learn Metasploit is to understand its libraries, which are its core components. So that is something our viewers should also consider while using Metasploit.
Because generally what people, from what I've heard, is that they would just use, whatever is canned or what comes bundled with the Metasploit bytes without really thinking of developing exploits.
Actually, if we talk about writing exploits, Metasploit provides each and every tool which you need to create a new exploit. Let's say if you need to do a fuzzing for a particular software, you have tools with Metasploit, which is pattern offset, pattern create and stuff like that. We have, if you want to create an exploit, you have a small utility called MSFTidy which checks if an exploit is correct or not.
Right.
So we have a lot of things.
Okay, so maybe something for the newbies, absolutely, who are walking into Metasploit or who are walking into the domain. What sort of skill should somebody have, to become an exploit, I would say, writer? Or or a user also. Let's say even if he has to use Metasploit, but what sort of basic knowledge should he have?
Right. So this is actually a question which a lot of people have asked. What is the difference between a normal user visiting a website and a hacker visiting a website? Now the difference lies is, when we go to a website, generally we open the source code to find out if something is fishy, something can be handled in the hacker's way.
Yeah.
So exactly the same case. Now most of the people, in order to find exploits, they actually need to fuzz applications with different set of data. You have to fuzz for different parameters. You can find where the particular application crashes, stuff like that. So for a newbie who just want to create exploits, I guess basics of programming, which is very essential for every kind of hacker, or it should be there. And basics of Perl, Python, and a lot of languages out there. In Metasploit, if you want to create exploit, you have Ruby, and you should have the basics of Ruby, assembly, and debuggers.
So that's a lot of stuff to learn, man. So it's let's say if a total fresher. So you said the basics of programming. So should he start with C or with Python or any one language, let us say, and then we can look at maybe like, the Perl or the
Basically,
assembly or whatever.
if I have to say I love a particular language, that would be Python. But the mother of all languages, which I have loved more for rather than Python, is C.
Okay.
So everything, let's say, if you want to do Linux programming, if you want to create anything or everything, that basically depends on C. And if you have a strong skill set in C, most of those programming languages out there become very easy because the concepts are same. So
Right.
if you learn a core language like C, that would be perfect.
Great. Okay, let's move to the domain of hacking. Now, you are, besides, of course, academically oriented, you are also a professional, information security testing and this thing. So I don't. So what sort of changes have you seen in the last 1 year or 2 years in terms of threats, in terms of threats in the information space, like?
Threats have fairly increased as well, and parallelly it has decreased as well. Most of these companies, let's say the people who are running some bug bounty programs and stuff like that, in their case the threats have fairly decreased, and but the technology of exploitation is increasing day by day. So attacks are getting more sophisticated, but the impact they are causing is also much more than what it used to be.
Okay, so what is the your perception of the threats in the Indian enterprise or government space? What is your observation or?
Most of I've seen in the past year that most of the big companies got their database leaked online, and at various places the people have dumped their databases and they are selling it online. Databases get sold at private forums. So a lot of a major threat is there from these kind of people.
So when we say database, we are talking about personal information, like for example, if I am buying somewhere or buying a service online from any other from the large or the small internet players, it could mean my personal name, address, phone number, credit card information also. Do these guys store credit card information also?
Yes, in most of the cases they do, but initially what large companies used to do was to save the card information. It was around 2-3 years ago when they saved the entire card information, let's say your CVV numbers and everything. So whenever their database gets hacked, the attacker has the complete information to use your card. But nowadays what has changed is they have stopped storing your private 3-digit numbers.
Okay.
So it has fairly increased the security because it is stored nowhere.
So what is you work with the government as well as with the private enterprises and in India and abroad.
Yeah.
What is your opinion of the state of security in the private enterprises first, and then second thing in the government? Private as in large and small, large and medium, let us say, forget the small. So what is your opinion about this type of security which these guys have got?
When it comes to large and small private companies, the level of security and the impact of the risk involved is much higher. So what I have seen is they take security to a certain level that this is something very critical. I've seen in the past with our engagements with the private sector that how do they see us when we say, hey, you got a vulnerability. Right? So they take it very seriously. But unfortunately, when it comes to government institutions, government organizations, what I have seen is a sense of ignorance when we report a certain set of vulnerabilities to them, and it merely get patched. I've seen in the past. I won't take any names here to be very honest, but I've seen it. So
Okay.
this is the major difference.
You're doing some product development also.
Yes.
So have you been able to get some funding from the government, or are you funding it yourself?
Right now we are funding it ourselves, and basically our product will benefit both the private sector as well as the government sector.
So do you plan to sort of approach the government for funding or whatever?
Yes, we have.
Okay. So okay, and that will be part of Make in India, or is it Indian development, or it is overseas development?
This is basically an overseas development.
Overseas development.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So then that would make sort of a difference in terms of the Make in India, or whether it qualifies for that program or not.
Exactly. But it is made in India, but the project is overseas.
Okay. So what about other products? Now you've seen the scene quite closely, and you have a lot of friends across the country also. So what about the product development or research? What would you say? How good is research in the country? Or like you wrote a book on Metasploit. I know a couple of guys who have written books on certain areas and have been pretty successful. So, but still, a majority of books or a majority of research, nearly all research. So the research, let us say, nearly all research is done abroad. Books, majority are from abroad. So, do you see this changing?
Yes. I've seen in the, let's say, last 6 months that a lot of my friends have come up with new books, and which are far more better than what it used to be when it comes to information security. Like, let's say, 6 out of 10 of my friends have written a book.
Wow.
So this is something pretty interesting for
So these are available online, or are they in a particular place which they can be available? Okay, these are Indian books by Indian authors.
No, it is available online. It is in fact available. Like, if you go to US, you will get our books there as well.
Right, okay.
It is.
The publishers, like your publisher, is also not an Indian. There is not an Indian publisher.
It's a UK-based publisher, but they have 2 offices in Birmingham and Mumbai.
Right. So haven't Indian publishers sort of done these books your friends have written? Are they published by Indian publishers or by foreign guys?
In fact, it was the same publisher.
Oh, okay. So that means the Indian publisher still has to do something more in that area.
Yeah. No, but Indians are doing pretty well. I guess a lot of books have been written by Indians lately for the UK-based publisher, and he is fairly interested in Indian authors.
No, right. What I am talking about is the Indian publisher also has to stand up and support people.
Yes.
That way.
Yes.
And what about the product scene? So in the product scene, like you are developing a product which is of course from this thing. But Indian product scene, have you seen some good products being made over here?
Yes, I have seen some products which really do well, and some of my friends are the authors of such products. Let's say Iron Wasp is one tool, one open source tool by now.
He has been interviewed by us, so he's a very good friend. And
yeah. So I have seen, because most of these people, let's say, a lot of Indians have come up with the latest InfoSec product, and they're doing pretty well.
Great. What I would really like you to do, maybe, our blog is coming up, so maybe one fine day you can just, give a list of people or friends, who are developing products.
Definitely.
As well as your friends who have written books.
Yes.
So maybe you could just, share that with us and for our viewers also.
Sure.
Right, that will be great, yeah. So what would you say to, let's say, of course, there's a lot of advice given to newbies. And now I will talk about advice to give to the professionals who are already in the business. So there are some guys who say that if they have learned, testing, hacking or whatever, they become the great guys, ninjas or whatever you call it. Some guys who have done audit, they think that the world is just audit. So what do you say about something like that?
So I have spent around 7+ years in this field, and I cannot still call myself an expert because this field is so vast and so challenging that it changes each and every day. So nobody particularly is an expert. So let's say if one attack is working today, it might not work tomorrow. So this is how much challenging our field is.
Right.
So for an expert advice to the professionals is that stay grounded.
Okay.
Okay, and It is our field is very challenging. It is very vast. You are not the jack of all trades, so stop bragging about yourselves.
Yeah.
Let's say even let's say if you master just one single technique, that doesn't mean you're the king of information security.
Yeah.
So simply stop bragging about it. Help the newer guys, newer ones. They have quite a lot of potential. Try to help everyone, just like Dinesh Obreja sir, who helps everyone, especially people like us. So this is a bit of an advice, and one more advice I would like to give here are for some professionals who are working in some companies. That is, if you are working for a information security division, and someone reports a bug to you, you must not discourage him after saying, okay, we already know about this issue. Now if you know about this issue, get it patched. Okay, please do not discourage them. And that would be much better.
Face facts, like you said, stay grounded. So
Exactly.
So you have a problem, admit that you have a problem.
Exactly.
Right.
It hardly takes around 2 minutes to patch a vulnerability.
Yeah.
Why to discourage people that we already know about this issue? No, if you know about this issue, why don't you
Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you correct it? Right.
Exactly. So this is a bit of an advice.
Good. Yeah, I know. So great. Good talking to you, man. And
thank you so much, sir.
we wish you the best for your new version, the new edition of your book.
Thank you so much.
And may you write many more books, man. So
definitely.
So
I would like you to write with me someday.
Sure, we'll do that together. We'll do something together. So
definitely.
And it'll be great when you write for IndiaWatch also, something like that. Any once in a while. So any interest as we close? Any interest just in a very short, few seconds or something like that? Any case, any interesting case which comes to your mind in terms of somebody got scammed, somebody got hacked badly, somebody, anything?
There was
the most interesting thing which stands in your mind whenever you think about the information security.
There was an organization which got hacked recently, and that is something which comes into my mind, and we eventually found the guys on time.
Okay.
The server they used was a hacked server. We hacked into the hacked server and found out from their logs that what exactly they did, and found out their real IP addresses as well.
Okay.
So this is something which is pretty interesting.
Right. And media. Another. You want to kill them, or you want to be with them, or you want to do what with them?
I want to train them, basically.
Responsible disclosure or responsible reporting.
Exactly. Responsible reporting should be there. Facts should be known before making someone the king of kings.
Yeah.
So they should, act responsibly, and that's it. I've seen a lot of so-called infosec professionals taken to certain heights. And people like the real leads out there who actually do a lot from day-to-day operations to everything. They say, what the hell, man? What these guys are doing? So at least media should act responsibly, and they should consider their decisions before making someone feel much more higher than what it used to.
Last word. What do you think about brand ambassadors?
I think they are not required.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah, thanks a lot, Nipun. Thanks. Great having you, and we'll look forward and wish you all the best once again. Take care. Stay warm. Stay safe, and have fun, man.